First contact and underestimation. The vast expanse of space had always called to humanity, a siren song of discovery and adventure. But on that fateful day in 2157, as the research vessel Curiosity drifted beyond the orbit of Neptune, no one aboard could have imagined the monumental shift about to occur in human history. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, lead xenobiologist, was the first to notice the anomaly on her sensors. "Captain, I'm picking up an unknown energy signature. It's massive." Captain Wei Chen leaned forward in his command chair, eyes fixed on the main view screen. "Show me." The image that materialized before them defied belief. A colossal ship, easily 10 times the size of the Curiosity, shimmered into view as if emerging from a curtain of stars. Its sleek, organic design spoke of technology far beyond human understanding. "My God," whispered Dr. Rodriguez. "We're not alone." The next few hours were a blur of frantic communications with Earth and cautious attempts to establish contact with the alien vessel. When the response finally came, it was not what anyone had expected. A holographic figure materialized on the Curiosity's bridge, a tall, slender being with iridescent skin and large, multifaceted eyes. It spoke, and the ship's computer translated. "Greetings, primitive species. I am Ambassador Zorax of the Zarkai Confederation. Your presence has been noted, and you will be assimilated into our empire for your own protection and advancement." Captain Chen stood, his voice firm despite the shock. "We come in peace, Ambassador. Humanity seeks friendship and knowledge, not subjugation." The alien's expression, if it could be called that, shifted to something akin to amusement. "Friendship. With beings barely out of their stellar cradle, you misunderstand your place in the cosmos, little ones." As the conversation continued, it became clear that the Zarkai viewed humanity as little more than children playing at spaceflight. They spoke of their vast empire spanning thousands of worlds, of technologies that seemed like magic to human ears. But it was when Dr. Rodriguez mentioned Earth's unique biosphere and humanity's close relationship with animals that the Zarkai's disdain reached new heights. "You mean to tell us," Lorax said, multifaceted eyes glittering, "that you still rely on lesser beasts for companionship and labor? How quaint. And you wonder why we see you as primitive." The meeting ended with an ultimatum. Earth and its solar system would be annexed into the Zarkai Confederation within one standard galactic year. Resistance would be met with force. As the Curiosity raced back to Earth with its world-shattering news, governments and militaries around the globe scrambled to prepare. The United Earth Defense Force, once thought to be a peacekeeping organization, now faced the prospect of an interstellar war. In a secured bunker beneath the Rocky Mountains, General Sarah Hawkins addressed the Joint Chiefs of Staff. "Ladies and gentlemen, we are facing an existential threat. The Zarkai's technology is centuries beyond ours. Conventional weapons will be useless." Admiral Javier Ortiz leaned forward, his weathered face grim. "Then what do you propose, General? We can't just roll over and let them take our planet." A thin smile crossed General Hawkins' face. "No, we can't. And we won't. It's time to unveil Project Prometheus." The room fell silent as classified files were distributed. Images of animals, dogs, dolphins, eagles, and more filled the screens, but these were no ordinary creatures. Cybernetic enhancements melded seamlessly with flesh and bone, creating hybrid beings of unprecedented capability. "For the past 2 decades, Hawkins explained, we've been developing a program to enhance animal intelligence and physical capabilities through cybernetic integration. These aren't just trained animals. They're partners with near-human intelligence and abilities that surpass our own in many areas." Skepticism and hope warred on the faces around the table. "And you think these cybernetic animals can stand against an alien armada?" someone asked. General Hawkins' expression hardened. "I think they're our best shot. The Zarkai have dismissed us as primitive because of our connection to animals. They have no idea the strength of the bond between humans and our companions, nor the lengths we've gone to elevate that partnership." As the meeting continued late into the night, plans were set in motion. Around the world, secret facilities began ramping up production of cybernetic enhancements. Veteran animal handlers were recalled to active duty, and a global call went out for volunteers, both human and animal. In the following months, as the Zarkay deadline drew ever closer, Earth became a planet transformed. Cities became fortresses, and military bases hummed with activity day and night. But in the midst of the feverish preparations, a sense of hope began to emerge. Humanity had faced extinction before, from its own weapons, from natural disasters, from the very environment they had damaged. Each time, they had pulled back from the brink through ingenuity, determination, and the unbreakable spirit of cooperation that defined their species at its best. Now, as they stood on the precipice of their greatest challenge yet, humanity looked to the stars not with fear, but with resolve. And by their side stood their oldest and most faithful allies, no longer just pets or workers, but true partners in the fight for survival. The Zarkay had come expecting to find a primitive species ripe for conquest. What they would encounter instead was a united planet, where the lines between human and animal, organic and machine, had blurred into something entirely new. As the first Zarkay ships appeared in Earth's skies, humanity and their cybernetic companions stood ready. The fight for Earth was about to begin, and the galaxy would never be the same. The cybernetic companions unveiled. The skies above New Beijing crackled with energy as the first Zarkay scout ships breached Earth's atmosphere. On the ground, civilians huddled in shelters while military personnel manned their stations, fingers hovering over controls that had never before been used in actual combat. Captain Aisha Korith stood atop the city's primary defense tower, her dark eyes scanning the horizon. Beside her, a massive grey wolf sat alert, its cybernetic enhancements gleaming in the fading sunlight. "What do you think, Shadow?" Aisha murmured, one hand resting on the wolf's muscular shoulder. "Are we ready for this?" Shadow's reply came not in words, but in a series of neural impulses transmitted directly to the implant at the base of Aisha's skull. A mix of determination, excitement, and unwavering loyalty flooded her consciousness. Aisha smiled grimly. "Yeah, I feel the same way." As if on cue, alarms blared across the city. The Zarkay ships had begun their descent. "All units, battle stations." Aisha's voice rang out over the comm system. "Remember your training. Trust your companions. We are humanity's first line of defense." Across New Beijing, and indeed around the world, similar scenes played out. In the waters of Sydney Harbour, cybernetically enhanced dolphins cut through the waves, their sonar capabilities far exceeding any human-made technology. High above the streets of London, eagles with optical enhancements could spot a pin from miles away circled watchfully. The Zarkay ships, sleek and intimidating, hovered above the major cities of Earth. From their hulls, smaller craft emerged, dropships carrying the first wave of invasion forces. In New Beijing, Aisha and Shadow led their unit out to meet the threat. As the Zarkay dropships touched down, disgorging troops in gleaming armor, the true capabilities of Earth's defenders were finally unveiled. Shadow, his size already impressive for a wolf, seemed to grow even larger as hidden panels in his cybernetic enhancements opened, revealing an array of non-lethal weapons. Other animals in the unit, a mix of dogs, big cats, and even a few bears, underwent similar transformations. The Zarkay troops, expecting an easy victory against primitive defenses, found themselves instead facing a coordinated assault unlike anything they had encountered in their galactic conquests. Shadow lunged forward, his enhanced muscles propelling him at speeds that blurred the line between animal and missile. His jaws, reinforced with a titanium alloy, clamped down on the arm of a Zarkay soldier, the alien's advanced armor crumpling like paper. Nearby, a cybernetically enhanced mountain lion leaped impossible distances between buildings, using its gravity-defying agility to flank and disable Zarkay positions. The alien invaders' energy weapons proved less effective than expected, as the animals' enhancements included adaptive shielding that could deflect or absorb various types of energy attacks. Aisha, moving in perfect sync with Shadow thanks to their neural link, coordinated the defense with a mixture of verbal and silent commands. The bond between human and animal partners, strengthened by years of training and the intimacy of their cybernetic connections, proved to be a force multiplier that the Zarkai had not anticipated. As the battle raged on, news poured in from around the globe. In the skies above Tokyo, cybernetically enhanced birds of prey engaged Zarkai fighters in aerial combat, their enhanced intelligence allowing them to execute complex maneuvers that even the most advanced AI couldn't predict. In the Amazon rainforest, enhanced jaguars and monkeys used the dense foliage to their advantage, ambushing Zarkai ground forces with terrifying efficiency. Aboard the Zarkai command ship in orbit, Ambassador Zorax watched the unfolding chaos with growing alarm. How is this possible? He demanded of his subordinates. These were supposed to be primitive beings, barely able to leave their own planet. A junior officer, his iridescent skin pale with stress, responded hesitantly. Sir, our initial assessments, they appear to have been flawed. The humans have integrated their technology with their planet's fauna in ways we've never seen before. Our weapons they're not as effective as they should be. Zorax's multifaceted eyes narrowed. Impossible. No species we've encountered has ever managed to elevate lesser beings to such a degree. There must be an explanation. As the Zarkai commanders struggled to adapt their strategies, Earth's defenders pressed their advantage. In New Beijing, Aisha and Shadow led a daring assault on one of the grounded Zarkai dropships. With Shadow providing cover, Aisha managed to infiltrate the vessel, her neural link with the wolf allowing her to navigate alien corridors as if she had blueprints in front of her. Inside, she discovered something that would change the course of the war. The Zarkai, for all their advanced technology, had a critical weakness. Their reliance on energy-based weapons and defenses made them vulnerable to certain frequencies of electromagnetic pulses that Earth's cybernetic animals could generate from their enhanced bodies. As this information spread rapidly through Earth's defense networks, the tide of battle began to turn. City by city, Earth's defenders pushed back the Zarkai invasion forces. The aliens, accustomed to swift and decisive victories, found themselves bogged down in a war of attrition against an enemy that seemed to grow stronger and more adaptable with each passing hour. By the time the sun set on that first day of combat, the Zarkai had been pushed back to their ships in most major cities. As night fell, an eerie calm settled over the battlefields of Earth. In New Beijing, Aisha sat with Shadow atop a partially destroyed skyscraper, watching the Zarkai ships retreat to a higher orbit. "We've won the first round," she murmured, scratching behind Shadow's ears. The wolf's tail thumped against the concrete, a strangely normal gesture from a being of such incredible capabilities. Through their neural link, Aisha sensed Shadow's mixture of pride, exhaustion, and wariness. The battle was far from over, and both human and wolf knew that the Zarkai would not give up so easily. As the night wore on, leaders around the world convened in emergency sessions. The unexpected success of the cybernetic animal program had bought Earth valuable time, but everyone knew that this was just the beginning. The Zarkai would regroup, adapt, and return with even greater force. In orbit, Ambassador Zorax was coming to a similar realization. As he composed a message to the Zarkai High Command requesting reinforcements, he couldn't shake a growing sense of unease. The humans and their animal companions had proven to be far more formidable than anyone had imagined. For the first time in his long career, Zorax found himself wondering if the Zarkai Confederation had finally met its match. On Earth, as millions emerged from shelters to survey the damage and celebrate their unexpected victory, a new sense of unity began to emerge. Humanity had faced its greatest threat, and against all odds held the line. Whatever came next, they would face it together, human and animal, flesh and machine, united in defense of their home. The battle for Earth had only just begun, but already the galaxy was changing in ways no one could have predicted. The Zarkai invasion begins. As dawn broke over a battle-scarred Earth, the brief respite from combat was shattered by the arrival of the Zarkai main fleet. Thousands of ships darkened the skies, their massive forms blotting out the sun in a terrifying display of alien might. In the war room beneath the ruins of the Pentagon, General Sarah Hawkins surveyed the holographic display of Earth's defenses with grim determination. "They're not playing around anymore, folks. This is the real invasion." Admiral Ortiz nodded, his face haggard from sleepless nights. "Our orbital defenses won't hold against a force that size. We need to focus on ground defense and counterattacks." As military leaders debated strategy, reports flooded in from around the globe. The Zarkai were deploying new weapons, learning from their earlier defeat. Energy shields flickered around their troops, neutralizing the electromagnetic pulses that had proven so effective in the first battle. In the streets of Lagos, Major Chidi Okafor and his cybernetic cheetah partner, Bolt, led a desperate defense against waves of Zarkai shock troops. Bolt's enhanced speed allowed him to dart between enemy formations, his razor-sharp claws slicing through alien armor with terrifying precision. "We can't hold them much longer," Chidi shouted into his comm, diving behind a crashed vehicle as energy blasts seared the air around him. Through his neural link with Bolt, he felt the cheetah's growing fatigue and determination. Similar scenes played out across the planet. In the frozen wastes of Antarctica, cybernetically enhanced penguins and seals engaged Zarkai forces attempting to establish a southern foothold. The animals' natural adaptations to extreme cold, combined with their technological enhancements, gave them a crucial advantage in the harsh environment. High above the Himalayas, Captain Li Wei and his squadron of enhanced eagles engaged in dogfights with Zarkai fighters. The birds' ability to maneuver in thin air, coupled with their enhanced intelligence and weaponry, allowed them to outflank and outfight the alien craft. But despite these pockets of resistance, the sheer numbers of the Zarkai invasion force began to tell. City after city fell under alien control, with Earth's defenders forced into increasingly desperate guerrilla tactics. In orbit, aboard the Zarkai flagship, Ambassador Zorax watched the invasion's progress with growing satisfaction. "You see," he addressed his commanders, "the humans' initial success was nothing but a fluke. Their primitive tricks cannot stand against the full might of the Confederation." Yet, even as he spoke, doubt gnawed at the edges of his confidence. Reports from the ground spoke of human resistance that refused to be crushed, of cybernetic animals displaying levels of adaptability and intelligence that defied explanation. Back on Earth, in a hidden facility deep beneath the Amazon rainforest, Dr. Elena Rodriguez worked feverishly alongside a team of scientists and their animal partners. Here, far from the front lines, humanity's greatest minds raced against time to unlock new potential in the cybernetic enhancement program. "We're close to a breakthrough," Elena murmured, her eyes bloodshot from lack of sleep. Beside her, a cybernetically enhanced capuchin monkey chittered excitedly, its tiny hands flying over a holographic interface within human speed and precision. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the facility. Zarkai forces detected, an AI voice announced calmly. Estimated time to breach, 15 minutes. Elena's heart raced. "We're out of time," she whispered, looking around at her team and their animal partners. "We have to evacuate." But as they prepared to flee, the capuchin monkey, nicknamed Einstein by the research team, let out a sharp cry. On its holographic display, a complex formula pulsed with newfound clarity. Elena's eyes widened as she took in the implications. "My God," she breathed. "Einstein, you've done it." With trembling hands, she transmitted the data to the Global Defense Network. It was a radical new approach to cybernetic integration, one that could potentially allow for real-time adaptation to Zarkai weapons and tactics. As Zarkai forces bore down on the hidden facility, Elena and her team raced to implement the new protocols in their animal partners. They worked with desperate speed, acutely aware that the fate of humanity might rest on their success. Outside, the sounds of battle grew closer. The facility's outer defenses, manned by a mix of human soldiers and cybernetic animals, fought valiantly to buy time. Just as the inner doors began to buckle under Zarkai assault, Elena activated the final sequence. A wave of energy pulsed through the assembled animals, their cybernetic enhancements glowing with newfound power. As the doors burst open and Zarkai troops poured in, they were met not with cowering scientists, but with a force unlike anything they had yet encountered. Einstein the Capuchin leaped into action, its small body a blur of motion as it disabled alien weapons with pinpoint precision. Other animals, jaguars, anteaters, even a giant anaconda, joined the fray, their enhanced abilities seeming to evolve in real time to counter Zarkai attacks. Elena watched in awe as her years of research culminated in this moment. The bond between human and animal, further strengthened by technology, had created something truly remarkable, a force that could adapt and evolve as quickly as the battle itself. As news of the successful defense of the Amazon facility spread, a renewed sense of hope ignited across the globe. The new enhancements were quickly disseminated, allowing cybernetic animals worldwide to upgrade their capabilities. In New Beijing, Aisha and Shadow led a counteroffensive that caught the Zarkai completely off guard. Shadow's already formidable abilities seemed to multiply, his form shifting and adapting to each new challenge with fluid grace. Similar turnarounds occurred on battlefields across the planet. The Zarkai, who had been on the verge of victory, suddenly found themselves facing an enemy that seemed to grow stronger with each passing moment. Aboard the Zarkai flagship, alarms blared as reports of setbacks poured in from all fronts. Ambassador Zorax, his earlier confidence shattered, stared at the tactical displays in disbelief. How, he demanded. How are they doing this? As the tide of battle shifted once more, humanity dared to hope. They had survived the initial onslaught, adapted to the Zarkai's superior technology, and were now pushing back with a ferocity that surprised even themselves. But the war was far from over. The Zarkai still held numerical and technological superiority in many areas. As night fell on a world in turmoil, both sides prepared for the battles to come. The fate of Earth, and perhaps the galaxy itself, hung in the balance. In the Amazon facility, now transformed into an impromptu command center, Elena looked out at the rainforest canopy, alive with the sounds of Earth's defenders preparing for the next phase of the war. "We've made it this far," she said softly, feeling Einstein's reassuring presence on her shoulder. "Now we just have to win." The Capuchin chittered in agreement, its cybernetic eyes glowing with determination. Together, human and animal, they turned back to their work. The battle for Earth's future raged on, with no clear end in sight. Turning the tide. As the war entered its second month, Earth's defenders began to take the fight to the stars. Utilizing captured Zarkai technology and the ever-evolving capabilities of their cybernetic companions, humanity launched a series of daring raids on the alien fleet in orbit. Captain Wei Chen, once commander of the research vessel Curiosity, now led a strike team aboard a retrofitted Zarkai scout ship. Beside him stood his loyal partner, a cybernetically enhanced golden eagle named Skywing. All teams report in. Wei's voice crackled over the comm as their ship approached a massive Zarkai cruiser. Confirmations came in from around the vessel, each squad accompanied by their animal partners. Dogs with enhanced olfactory senses to detect alien biorhythms, cats with optical implants for navigation in low light, and even a pair of octopi, their tentacles now marvels of biomechanical engineering, ready to interface with alien computer systems. As they initiated their stealth approach, Wei felt Skywing's anticipation through their neural link. The eagle's enhanced vision scanned the cruiser's hull, identifying weak points and entry vectors with inhuman precision. "Remember," Wei addressed his team, Our objective is to disable their main weapons array and communications. We cripple enough of these ships, we buy Earth some breathing room." The boarding action was swift and decisive. Earth's cybernetic animals proved invaluable in the close quarters of the alien vessel. Dogs led the way, their enhanced senses alerting teams to approaching Zarkay. Cats moved silently through ventilation shafts, sabotaging systems from within. In the ship's central computer core, the octopi went to work, their tentacles interfacing directly with alien technology. Through a combination of Earth's most advanced AI and the octopi's natural problem-solving abilities, they began to unravel the Zarkay's encryption. Wei and Skywing made their way to the bridge, fighting through waves of increasingly panicked Zarkay defenders. The Eagle's wings, now laced with a carbon fiber weave stronger than steel, deflected energy blasts while delivering devastating counterattacks. As alarms blared throughout the cruiser, Wei realized they had achieved more than they'd hoped. "All teams, fall back to extraction points," he ordered. "We've done what we came to do." As Earth's strike team retreated to their ship, the Zarkay cruiser began to list, its systems failing as the Octopi's cyber attack took full effect. Similar scenes played out across Earth's orbit as other teams struck simultaneously. For the first time since the invasion began, the Zarkay fleet was in disarray. Part 5. Diplomatic Revelations. In the aftermath of the orbital raids, an unexpected opportunity arose. Among the data stolen by Earth's cyber attack was evidence of deep-rooted factions within the Zarkay Confederation. Not all of the aliens, it seemed, supported the invasion of Earth. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, now a key figure in Earth's war effort, pored over the information with growing excitement. "This could change everything," she murmured to Einstein, the capuchin monkey perched on her shoulder. The monkey chittered in agreement, its cybernetic implants processing the data alongside her. A plan was quickly formulated. Using the captured Zarkay ships, a diplomatic mission would be sent to make contact with a dissident faction. It was a risky move, but potentially game-changing. Ambassador Lydia Okafor, a veteran diplomat, was chosen to lead the mission. Her partner, a cybernetically enhanced African grey parrot named Cicero, had been specifically enhanced for interspecies communication. As their ship approached the designated rendezvous point in a neutral star system, Lydia felt a mix of hope and trepidation. "Ready, Cicero?" she asked softly. The parrot ruffled its feathers, its voice modulator activating. "Always ready, Ambassador. Let's make history." The meeting with the Zarkay dissidents was tense at first. The aliens, led by a scientist named Zalfar, were initially skeptical of Earth's overtures, but as Cicero demonstrated its ability to communicate complex ideas in the Zarkay language, barriers began to break down. Zalfar, his multifaceted eyes wide with wonder, addressed Lydia. "Your integration with these animals, it's unlike anything we've seen in our travels. We had dismissed your species as primitive, but now I see we were gravely mistaken." Lydia smiled diplomatically. "We've learned that true strength comes not from domination, but from cooperation. Our bond with Earth's animals has made us stronger than we ever could have been alone." As the negotiations progressed, a startling truth emerged. The Zarkay Confederation, for all its apparent unity, was an empire on the brink of collapse. Centuries of expansion had stretched its resources thin, and many worlds chafed under its rule. "Your resistance," Zalfar explained, "has inspired others. If Earth can stand against the Confederation, why not other subjugated worlds?" A plan began to take shape. The dissident Zarkay would provide Earth with critical intelligence and technology, while Earth would share its cybernetic advancements. Together, they would work to topple the warmongering faction of the Confederation and forge a new galactic alliance. As Lydia prepared to return to Earth with the momentous news, Cicero surprised everyone by addressing Zalfar directly in perfect Zarkay. "The hand of friendship," the parrot said, "is offered not just by humanity, but by all of Earth's children. Together, we can build a future among the stars." Part 6. A new galactic order. The final battle for Earth's freedom was fought not just on the planet's surface or in the space above it, but across multiple star systems. As news of the alliance between Earth and the Zarkay dissidents spread, other subjugated worlds rose up in rebellion. Admiral Javier Ortiz, commanding Earth's fledgling space fleet from the bridge of the ESS Humanity's Hope, watched as the tactical display lit up with reports from across the sector. Beside him, his cybernetic companion, a bottlenose dolphin named Echo, suspended in a gravity-nullifying aquarium, clicked and whistled as it processed vast amounts of data through its neural interface. Multiple Zarkay battle groups have broken formation, Echo reported, its synthesized voice calm amidst the chaos. It appears the Confederation fleet is fracturing. Ortiz nodded grimly. Just as we hoped. Signal all ships. Commence Operation Avalanche. Across the battlefront, Earth's forces and their new allies launched a coordinated assault on the Confederation's key military installations. Cybernetically enhanced animals played crucial roles in every theater of war. In the vacuum of space, enhanced sea creatures like Echo proved invaluable, their natural adaptations to pressure changes making them ideal space combatants when coupled with advanced technology. On the surfaces of contested planets, the varied environments play to the strengths of Earth's diverse animal partners. In dense alien jungles, enhanced primates led guerrilla strikes. On barren moons, cybernetic camels and other desert-adapted creatures outlasted Confederation forces in endurance battles. The war raged for weeks, but the outcome was never really in doubt. The Zarkay Confederation, already stretched thin and now facing internal strife, began to crumble under the combined assault. Finally, on a space station orbiting a neutral world, the decisive meeting took place. Representatives from Earth, led by Ambassador Lydia Okafor and her ever-present companion Cicero, sat across from the remaining Zarkay leadership. Ambassador Zorax, once so dismissive of humanity, now looked upon them with a mixture of fear and grudging respect. "You have defeated us," he said simply. "What are your terms?" Lydia smiled, her voice firm but not unkind. "Not defeat, Ambassador. Evolution. We propose a new galactic alliance, one built on mutual respect and cooperation rather than domination." As Cicero translated, adding nuanced explanations of human concepts where needed, the shape of a new future began to emerge. The Zarkay Confederation would be dissolved, replaced by a galactic council where all species, including Earth's uplifted animals, would have equal representation. In the years that followed, the galaxy entered an unprecedented era of peace and discovery. Earth's cybernetic program, once developed for war, now led to incredible advancements in medicine, space exploration, and environmental restoration across countless worlds. Humanity and their animal companions ventured out among the stars not as conquerors, but as explorers and peacekeepers. The bond between species that had saved Earth became a model for cooperation across the galaxy. On a warm summer day, 5 years after the war's end, Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood on the balcony of the new Galactic Council headquarters on Earth. Beside her, Einstein the capuchin monkey operated a holographic display, coordinating scientific missions across dozens of star systems. "Did you ever imagine it would turn out like this?" Elena asked softly. Einstein paused in his work, looking up at her with eyes that held both animal wisdom and cybernetic intelligence. He chittered softly, and Elena felt his response through their neural link, a mix of pride, contentment, and excitement for the future. As the sun set on a peaceful Earth, ships of all shapes and sizes streaked across the darkening sky. Each carried the best of what Earth had to offer, the indomitable human spirit of exploration, and the loyal, ever-adaptable animal companions that had helped forge a new destiny among the stars. The galaxy would never be the same, and for once, change had come not through force, but through understanding, cooperation, and the unbreakable bond between species. The future, vast and bright, beckoned to all of Earth's children.